Indians back on track at home here today against Mike Moustakas and the red-hot Royals, who are road-tested coming in. The last time the Indians were at Progressive Field, they were putting the finishing touches on a sweep of the Tigers. But an injury-riddled weekend in the Windy City dipped the Tribe's lead in the AL Central to a half game over the White Sox. The division rival Royals are next as we play a Memorial Day matinee next on Sports Time Ohio. Memorial Day in downtown Cleveland, a hot one as the Indians return home to open up a three-game series against the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. You know, it's crazy to think. The last time the Indians were here, they were sweeping the Detroit Tigers, seemingly on top of the world, 6-game lead over Detroit. You go to Chicago, and in the span of 3 days, 5 guys go down to various injuries, some on the DL, some not, but this is a very banged-up ball club.
Well, you're right, and think about it. It was just 3 days ago. We left town on top of the world. We come home, and I'll tell you, there's some sad faces going on right now because Hafner's out with a knee. You got Cabrera out with a hamstring concussion. And then you see Lou Marson hit in the face right there. He stayed in the ball game, ended up coming out. I guess he could play today. But all said and done, Santana on the 7-day DL concussion. They recalled Chisenhall, put Hanahan on the disabled list. Tomlin will start tonight. Asensio goes out for assignment. So a lot of moves going on around here right now.
Yeah, and those guys on the day-to-day list, Travis Hafner, there's still some serious concern about the knee injury that could maybe land him on the disabled list. So we may know more in the next couple of days as far as his situation is concerned. But really, it's a completely different ball club, especially when you look at the lineup, than the one that just left here a few days ago. Well, let's take a look at the pitching matchup for today's game between the Indians and the Royals. Our Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup. It's Josh Tomlin for the Indians.
Well, finally, they're going to get Josh Tomlin back, coming off the disabled list. He pitched that second game of the doubleheader and hurt his wrist. He will be coming back for his first start. This will be his third appearance against the Royals this year. 1 start, 1 out of the bullpen. Matched up against Nate Adcock, who was making his first start against the Indians. Appeared twice out of the bullpen last year.
Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. We'll see if home cooking does the Indians right here this afternoon at Progressive Field. We're back with the play-by-play coming up next. Uncle Sam being played today by Nick Hagedorn of the Indians bullpen. heading out, reporting for duty on this Memorial Day here at Progressive Field. The young guy always gets hazed by the veterans in the bullpen.
Why not?
Beautiful day for baseball. It'll be a little on the warm side. Temperature will be right around 90 degrees as we approach our first pitch just a little after 4 p.m. here. Josh Tomlin will be on the hill today for the Indians in front of a nice crowd here at Progressive Field. Trying to get back in the win column after losing 3 straight in Chicago to begin the day. 1/2 game in front of the White Sox, 3 games in front of Detroit. The Royals playing better baseball of late. They come in just 6.5 games off the pace, despite that horrendous start they got off to, losing their first 10 games at home to start the year. But they're 19-27 on the season. And so as Josh Tomlin takes the field, we'll have a look now at Ned Yost, starting 9 for the KC Royals. Brought to you by Kia. Alex Gordon in the leadoff spot. Irving Falou will play second base and bat in the 2-hole. Then it's Billy Butler on a home run binge of late. Mike Moustakas batting cleanup. Then Jeff Francoeur, who has hit in 9 straight road games. Then Eric Hosmer batting 6th. Brian Pena, Gerard Dyson, and Alcides Escobar rounded out.
Well, back from the DL, Josh Tomlin, brought to you by MLB.com at Bat 12. Follow the Indians everywhere. He will be making his 6th start this year. Josh was on the DL with right wrist soreness. It was the second game, May 7th, where he pitched the game against the Chicago White Sox when it was raining that day. And after that, he just had some stiffness in that wrist, but he will come back. He is 0-2 this year at Progressive Field, which is amazing. He's 13-6 in his career, 0-1 against the Royals this year, and this is his 3rd appearance and his 2nd start. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. Damon in left, Brantley in center, Chu is in right, Lopez at 3rd, Diaz at short, Kipnis is at 2nd, Kochman at 1st, Carlin behind the plate.
Bob Davidson will call the balls and strikes. Hunter Wendelstadt at 1st, Dan Bellino at 2nd, the crew chief Jerry Lane down at 3rd. Josh Tomlin off the DL, ready to get back to work here today. The Indians and the Royals will both be wearing Memorial Day hats, in which you can see there the logo will have a camouflage. The 1-0, or the pitch in there to Alex Gordon, 227 hitter on the year, 4 homers, 18 runs batted in. He has doubled a dozen times. And a pitch fouled back by Gordon, 90 degrees, our game time temperature here today. Up high, I guess you could say it's unseasonably warm for the end of May. But by Friday, the high is expected to be 58 degrees. So we're going to be on a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, but that's
here.
going to be June, so we can get back to
Fouled back by Alex Gordon.
Yeah, humidity today.
Yeah. Very similar to what we had yesterday in Chicago. Warm, and you expect the ball will travel. Light breeze blowing out today. Bounced it in there, 2-2. Luke Carlin getting the call behind the plate. And Lou Marson, who was hit in the face by a pitch yesterday when he was at the plate batting, got some stitches. He said he was good to go and ready to be back in action today, but Maniac deciding give him a day to maybe heal up a bit. Gordon pops it in the air to left. Damon broke in, now back a few steps to make the catch. 1 away. Our injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Both of these teams have been hit harder by the injury bug probably than anybody in baseball. The Indians just in the last 3 days, the Royals have been dealing with it really since day one. They lost their closer, Joaquim Soria, their catcher, Sally Perez, although Perez is getting very close to returning. Irving Falou pops it in the air. The shortstop, Juan Diaz, makes the catch, 2 down. Yuniesky Betancourt is on a rehab assignment, so he should be rejoining the Royals before too much longer. But in the meantime, Irving Falou filling in at second base for Kansas City. And now Billy Butler, who has hit 11 home runs on the year. And so with that, Butler is on pace to break the Royals' single-season home run record held by Steve Balboni when he hit 36.
You know, and you don't consider Butler a home run hitter because he uses the whole field. He's more of a doubles guy, line drive, goes, from foul line to foul line. But he's homered in the last 2 games coming in here in that Baltimore series where the Royals won. But he certainly has some pop, and he's going to hit more home runs because he's getting experience now.
3 home runs in his last 4 games for Billy Butler. And he says of his home run binge, I'm getting more balls in the air. Maybe it's my swing path. I'm focusing on getting underneath the ball more. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Just going to go out and keep swinging.
Not when you see him flying over the fence. You don't worry about it at all.
Popped out to the right. It's just interesting to hear a guy say, I'm focusing on getting underneath the ball more.
See, he's a line drive hitter. He hits the ball from gap to gap. So what he's doing, when he says getting underneath it, he's talking about a quarter of an inch. If that. To where he can get on the ball and get that backspin on the baseball where it really carries. That's how that's really what I consider home runs or miss hit. From line drives, you get under them a little bit and they just have so much carry to them. But he certainly is strong enough.
Well, and that's another thing Butler talked about, the fact that he spent all winter working out with his strength coach in Phoenix, Arizona, and he says, I'm as strong as I've ever been. It's starting to pay dividends now. The 2-2. Back out of play.
This guy is as many, if not more, doubles than anybody over the last 3 years. And he could always hit home runs, but they just come from good quality swings.
He has 11 doubles to go along with those 11 home runs. Pretty good battle here. The 2-2 from Tomlin. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Good first inning for Josh Tomlin as the Royals go 1-2-3. The Indians are coming to bat. To Starting 9, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo, Michael Brantley, Jason Kipnis at the top. Those three swung the bats well in Chicago. Jose Lopez batting cleanup. Casey Kochman hits fifth. Johnny Damon batting sixth. Lonnie Chisenhall just called up, activated today. He's hitting seventh. And Luke Carlin batting eighth. And Juan Diaz hitting ninth.
Nathan Adcock pitching for Kansas City. It's his second start since being recalled for the third time from Omaha on May 19th. And Nate last year made a pair of relief appearances against the Indians, posting a 1.93 ERA. He gave up 4 hits in 4 2/3 innings. But this is his first start against the Tribe.
Shin-Soo Choo takes a strike. Now the Royals have had some issues with their starting pitching, and we talked about the injuries that they've had. That's played a role in it, but Nathan Adcock is one of 10 different Royals to start a game already this year, and we're not even 50 games in.
We're not even into June yet. Yeah, that's a lot. We talked about it, remember, early in the year where the teams that really, a lot of them that went to the playoffs used the fewest starters all year long.
You keep your rotation together and let them go every 5 days. They get 30 starts. Chances are it means you've got a good rotation.
Well, and you stay healthy is the thing. Guys that can go out there. If you use 6, 7 starters all year long, 8 tops, you're having a good year.
The 2-2. A little bit outside. And with the struggles of their starting pitching and because of the injuries and the inconsistency, that has forced them to use more relievers per game than any other team in the American League.
Well, and that happened to them last year, if you remember. You know, that bullpen, you say, at this time of year, boy, if they continue to use this many guys, they're going to be burned out by August, you know, in the heat of the summer.
Shin-Soo Choo draws a walk to start the game, and the Indians, unfortunately, are right behind him. And that has to be worrisome to Manny Acton, Scott Radinsky. The Indians are second in the American League, most relievers used per game. You know, and there's a decent gap between them and the Royals, but still it goes to show you that with each start of 5 innings or less, and then we've seen a rash of those here lately, you're into your bullpen more and more frequently.
Well, especially when you get off and you fall behind early like we did in Chicago, and you got to use the guys, you know, in a losing situation.
Michael Brantley takes the ball, and our Lexus League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. Michael Brantley with 15 doubles, trailing only Robinson Cano and Adrian Gonzalez. What's interesting in that statistic, Brantley has 15 doubles and has swung the bat very well gap to gap. He's still without a home run.
Well, you don't worry about home runs with Michael. They'll come. His job is to get on base. You know, he was leading off there for a while, so he's taking a lot of pitches. My concern about Michael is not the home run, is it walks. Will he walk? He doesn't walk enough.
He's walked once in May.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that really, as far as the Indians go, they've done a good job team-wise because they're still first, but he hasn't walked. But his on-base percentage, that's where you want to see Michael on base because he can run a little bit.
Now, Michael Brantley's batting average is up 38 points in the month of May from what it was in April. He's almost tripled his RBI total from April to May. Another throw to first. Draws another throw.
Well, that's where the throws are coming from over there on the bench. Fans are upset, but They call that from the bench.
And a little tapper to first. Hosmer will go to second to take care of Chu. One away. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. The Indians have gone 10-5. Best home record since May 1st. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Royals talked about their dreadful start at home this year, but they're 14-10 on the road.
Yeah.
And if they win today, it'll match their best record through 25 games on the road to start a season.
You just look at the whole Central. We talk about it. The Indians are over 500. The White Sox on the road. Detroit's 500 on the road. Kansas City. The only team that is not is Minnesota.
And they're sporting the worst record in baseball, or at least tied with Chicago for the worst mark in baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
Nathan Adcock ready, the 1-0 pitch. Called a strike. Jason Kipnis has bumped his batting average up to 275, coming off a terrific series in Chicago.
Yeah, we got to tell Jason he's still in Chicago. Make him feel like that anyway.
A little bit low. Line to third, right at Moustakas. Throw back to first. Double play. So the inning is over. No score after one. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by McDonald's Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Mike Moustakas leading out the second inning for Kansas City and looks at ball one outside. He'll be followed by Jeff Francoeur and Eric Hosmer. Moustakas has hit 7 home runs. He's driven in 19. He's doubled 11 times.
Little different lineup change when you look here, and Hosmer is not in the number 3 hole normally where he hits, but he's been struggling, so they move Butler up. Moustakis gets that number 4 position.
Popped in the air, and left fielder Johnny Damon makes the catch, one away. Here's a look at our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. 4 pitchers in Indians history have had 20 games of 10 or more strikeouts. We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Yeah, Ned Yost continues to juggle his lineup. You're talking about Hosmer moving down the lineup, and Alcides Escobar had moved up to the number 2 hole because he had been in a pretty good groove. But after he went hitless in 5 at bats, he's now back to the 9 spot.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, and 35, well, I think this is 36 lineups in 46 games. And Ned Yost, the Royals manager, when asked about all of the lineups, said, look, right now, quote, I'm just trying to take advantage of who is hot and try to get them in front of guys who are hot.
Right.
Fine-tune it. Same offense for a day or two. He said, you know, when you're trying to juggle it all the time, it's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. He said, I'd love to have a set lineup and just leave it alone.
Right.
But you got to get everybody on track.
Well, with kids, too, young players, you know, this Dyson kid who can run, they'd like him to lead off. You know, and pull Gordon down a little bit, but they haven't been able to do that because he struggled. He got hurt. He ended up going down to the minors, and you know, it is a constant adjustment. You have to manage that lineup depending on how your hitters are going. When some of your stars that are in the middle part of the lineup, like a Hosmer, for example, and you got to take him out of that number 3 hole, boy, that creates a lot of problems until he gets hot again because he's going to go right back into that number 3 hole when he's swinging it well.
1-2 pitch. Frank Core fouls it back again.
Every team has problems, you know, offensively, not hitting with runners in scoring position, guys going through slumps, and you try to find that one guy that's going to be consistent. For them right now, it's Billy Butler, and it probably always has been.
And Frank Core is hot right now, 15 for 29 in his last 7 games. And it was the combination of Butler and Francoeur that helped the Royals win yesterday against Baltimore.
Yeah, this is their 3rd city on this road trip. They started in New York, went to Baltimore, now ending it in Cleveland before they head home.
Ooh, that was a very close pitch. Take another look here. What do you think?
Well, going inside off the dish, it's close.
That looked like a strike. Another pop, foul, and out of play. Now the payoff pitch. Another foul ball.
This is only the 5th hitter for Kansas City, and they've already hit 13 foul balls.
Tomlin taking his time. Now he rocks into the windup, and then he walked him.
That is the first right-handed batter he has walked this year. He had 7 walks coming in. I mean, this guy is impeccable.
Well, he threw a ton of strikes in that sequence. In fact, it looked like he had him struck out, but didn't get a call.
That's the first right-hander he's walked on the season.
Well, here is Eric Hosmer, who today is batting 6th after he hit 8th on Saturday, which was the lowest he'd hit in the batting order in his then 171 big league games. He clobbers one to deep center. Brantley back. He is out of room, and it's out of here. Eric Hosmer breaking out of his slump with his 6th home run of the year, a 2-run shot, and it's 2-0 Kansas City. He won't be batting in the bottom part of the lineup for long.
Well, you get him back into, the division comfort zone. Tell you what, that was a good swing, and he hit it a long way over on the Indians bullpen. It's a low heater. And this guy can hit him down there. He can get on top of fastballs that are up in the zone. Hosmer gets his 6th home run and gives Kansas City a 2-0 lead.
Now Brian Pena, Royal switch hitting catcher. Hits it to second base. Jason Kipnis throws him out, 2 down. With more on the Indians' second baseman, Jason Kipnis, here's Katie Witham.
Well, guys, he has been tough out there at second base. I spoke with Indians infield coach Steve Smith today, and he told me Jason Kipnis reminds him a lot of Chase Utley. But the thing that's impressed Smitty the most about Kipnis is how comfortable he already is out there at second base. He says he knows what to do and where to go. He doesn't have to tell his feet where to be anymore.
Well, hopefully he's turning into a Jason Kipnis.
Thank you.
This kid is...
There's only one Chase Utley.
He's doing a little bit of everything well right now. He's swinging the bat well. He's playing good defense. He's running the bases well.
He certainly has improved defensively since the start of the year, and it's only going to get better because he knows what he's doing. I mean, it's starting to become repetitive, and he knows what's going on, and he knows situations, and it's all anticipation, and it's just a matter of getting playing time. That's all. He's an athlete. He's a baseball player. He'll figure it out.
He's an athlete, but he's got the baseball instincts because you look on the field, very rarely do you see him not where he's supposed to be, if ever. He's at the bag when he's supposed to be at the bag. He's where he's supposed to be on cutoff plays. All the little things that you look for a guy making a move from the outfield to the infield. He's done all that very well. 1-2 pitch to Dyson. Bounce to Kipnis, and he'll throw him out. But the 2-run homer by Eric Hosmer has the Royals in front 2-0. Two 2-0 Kansas City, bottom of the second inning. Jose Lopez, Casey Kochman, and Johnny Damon due up for the Indians. A warm day here in downtown Cleveland on this Memorial Day. 90 degrees and pretty much sweltering. Jose Lopez hitting .246 with a couple of home runs. Down low, 2-0. Bounced on the ground to the shortstop, Escobar, who throws him out, one away.
Well, let's take a look at the Home Depot Kansas City Royals defense this afternoon. It's Gordon in left, Dyson in center, Francoeur is in right. Moustakas at third, Escobar at short, Balu at second, Hosmer at first, Pena behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Missed outside with it. Ball one. Kochman batting .219, 3 homers, 15 driven in. Drives one to center. Dyson back. And he makes the catch on the warning track. 2 down. Our great clip of the game from yesterday provided by Johnny Damon, his first home run as an Indian. 3-run shot tied the game at 3. Great clips. It's gonna be great. And Johnny Damon, of course, in his career, with everything that he's accomplished, every time he swings the bat or does something, he moves up a career list in a category. That home run, and the fact that he touched home plate, tied now with Joe Morgan for 33rd on the all-time career runs scored list with 1,650.
Well, it all started with Kansas City, where he became a leadoff hitter there and was outstanding up in the top part of that lineup, and he would score 100 runs every year. That was a given.
He's also tied for 54th on the all-time career hits list, now with Goose Goslin, 2,735. So his next hit would move him into sole possession of 54th place, and then he'd be trailing Al Oliver.
Scoop.
He's 53rd on the all-time hit list at 2,743.
You know, people say 3,000, that's the benchmark you go to. But, man, when you get around 2,500 hits in a career, that's a boatload.
There's a fly ball to left. Alex Gordon makes the catch, and the Indians go quickly. Through 2, it's Kansas City 2, Cleveland nothing. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. We go to the third inning. And the number 9 hitter, Alcides Escobar, will lead it off. Pitch in there for a strike. Escobar is hitting .311 on the year with a homer, 12 driven in. He's doubled 13 times. Off the end of the bat, but it hangs up in the air long enough for Brantley to run it down. One away. Back down to the field. Here's Katie with him.
Well, Matt, you want to get your tickets now for this weekend's back-to-back fireworks shows. Friday night, we've got Pop Divas for you, and Saturday night, it will be Country Night. Log on now, and you can save on those seats. Indians.com/fireworks.
Top of the order, Alex Gordon flied to left his first time up. Hit fouled on the right side. In the dirt, Gordon able to lay off. Now 1-2. Swung on and missed. Good off-speed pitch. Second strikeout for Tomlin. 2 down in the inning.
Good curveball. Really took something off it. Had Gordon out in front and puts that one nice right there at the knees. If he doesn't swing, it's still going to be a strike. Good curveball.
Irving Falou popped up his first time to the plate. And he had shortened up as if he wanted to bunt, but never put the bat out in front of the plate. Takes it for ball 1. Fastball in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Right back to the screen, and Tomlin jumps ahead. Earlier today, Boston beat the Tigers at Fenway 7-4. The White Sox lead Tampa 2-1. They're in the 6th inning down in St. Pete. That's Chris Sale against Matt Moore. Pretty good pitchers duel so far in that game.
That was a hot Chicago White Sox offense, but it was an Adam Dunn home run that drove in the 2 runs there.
And the 2-2. On the ground to first, KC Kochman will take it himself. And the Royals go 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 2-0 Kansas City. 2-0 Royals, bottom of the third. Bottom third of the Indians order due up here. Lonnie Chisenhall will lead it off. He's in the DH role this afternoon. Chisenhall had problems with a calf injury earlier this year at AAA Columbus. He was batting .324 on the year with a dozen doubles, 4 homers, and 17 driven in 28 games. He was sidelined from April 29th through May 18th with a strained left calf. So he just recently got back into live action. But he picked up right where he left off, 7 for 22 in 6 games since coming back from the disabled list. Chisenhall getting the call up with Jack Hanahan having to go on the DL. And he drives one to deep right field. Get out of here, gone.
Welcome back.
He launches it into the Royals bullpen, and Lonnie Chisenhall back with a vengeance. He gets the Indians on the board with his first home run of the year in his first swing of the season.
Welcome back. I'll tell you what, that was a quick swing on a fastball inside. That ball comes back down over, and he turned on it and got out of here in a hurry. So he cuts that lead in half, makes it a 2-1 ball game. So all the runs today scored on the long ball.
And now Luke Carlin getting the start today with Lou Marson nursing a couple of stitches in his kisser after getting hit by a pitch yesterday in Chicago. And if you joined us late or hadn't heard yet, the reason that Lonnie Chisenhall is here is Jack Hanahan, who had been down for 11 days with a back issue, finally got back into the lineup Saturday in Chicago, but then he hurt his calf. So he's got a strained left calf, and now he's on the disabled list. And that opened up the spot there. Tough break for Hanahan, who had been really swinging the bat well to start the year, but the back locked up on him, and he worked through that. Finally gets back on the field, and then the calf flares up on him. Strike to the outside corner to Luke Carlin. Right back up the middle, and it's through. And Luke Carlin, 2 for 3. And his time up here with the Tribe now.
That ball elevated. He was able to stay back enough and hit it hard enough to get it through the infield. So back-to-back hits here to start the third inning. And the Indians' offense is going.
So Luke at first, and now Juan Diaz. 2 for 7 since getting the call up from Double-A. And taking a strike. Juan Diaz getting his first major league hit yesterday in the series finale against the White Sox. A game in which he got 2 hits and scored 2 runs. Nick Adcock has thrown 32 pitches so far, 16 balls, 16 strikes. Now the 1-1 to Juan Diaz. And a line drive to left, but into the gap goes Gordon to make the catch. 1 away. Take a look at our University Hospitals minor league update. Well, Chad Huffman, 2 for 3 with a double and 4 driven in yesterday for the Clippers. Top of the order, Shin-Soo Choo walked his first time up. Choo is the last player to hit 3 home runs in a game against the Kansas City Royals. He did that back on September 17th in 2010. And he hit 3 home runs off 3 different pitchers. Here he lines a single into left field, and the Indians have 2 on with only 1 out.
Getting that patented swing down now by Choo as he strokes it to left field. This stroke has been prevalent around when he was in that leadoff spot. Started to come out. You can see that ball going down and away. Stayed on it nicely. So 3 hits in the inning. First and second, just 1 out. And an opportunity to at least tie the score, if not add on. Look at that, 14 hits to left, 19 to center. You like that. You keep him staying on the baseball. Plus, he mixes in a walk like he did in his first at-bat.
2 on, 1 out for Michael Brantley. And he takes a fastball over the outside corner. Brantley bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. Down on the dirt. Over in the National League, the suddenly surging Pittsburgh Pirates cooled off the Cincinnati Reds. Reds came in leading the NL Central by a game and a half over St. Louis. Pirates were in third place, just 4 games back. Buccos have won 4 in a row after their 4-1 win over Cincinnati. The 1-1. A little bit outside, 2 balls and a strike. St. Louis clobbered Atlanta today 8-2, so the Cardinals within a half game of first place now in the NL Central.
Well, we'll see how the lineup goes through the second time against this guy, because when you look at the numbers off Adcock, first time through, they usually gives up to about a 282 average, and it goes up 100 points that second time through.
2-1 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. Well, if he keeps nibbling like this, he's not going to do himself any favors.
Basically seems like a fastball changeup guy to me. I haven't seen a lot of anything as far as the breaking ball goes. A little fastball, a little changeup. And not overpowering at 90.
Two on, 1 out, 3-1 pitch. And it's ball 4. The bases are loaded. And they're loaded for the Indians' hottest hitter, Jason Kipnis. And before he steps in, the manager, not the pitching coach, Ned Yost, is going to the mound. This, more than likely, will not be a pleasant discussion.
Well, he's going to tell him exactly what you talked about, nibbling. You go out there with his stuff, he cannot fall behind hitters. He has to remain aggressive. He's not an overpowering guy. He has to pitch to contact, and if he doesn't, he's not going to be around long. They have 3 hits in the inning, started by Chisenhall's leadoff homer. And it is hot, and it's going to, it's tough out there right now, but you cannot walk hitters and fall behind.
Jason Kipnis lined one into the tracks of Mike Moustakas, the third baseman. His first time up, and Moustakas turned that into an inning-ending double play. Kipnis bats here with the bases loaded and only one out. Jason 0 for 4 so far this year in bases loaded situations. Lined out of play. As a team, the Indians are just 8 for 44 with the bases loaded.
You know, some years you have where everyone seems to click when you're in that situation, but they're not having one of those years. They're scuffling when it comes to bases loaded.
And of those 8 hits, Carlos Santana has 2 and Michael Brantley has 3.
Well, then you can only scatter a few more for the
That's
rest
what
of the
I
ball
mean.
club.
Yeah, it's been kind of a head scratcher so far.
When you get less than 2 outs and hitting with the bases loaded, it's a thing where you have to remain patient. The more aggressive you are, the easier you are going to get yourself out. And you help the pitcher out or the other team out.
And the 1-1 low.
Remain patient, you're going to be in good shape. I mean, because the pressure is definitely on the team. He's going to look for a ball now here. He can drive in a 2-1 count.
20th pitch of the inning coming up right here for Nathan Adcock. The Indians trying to pounce on him. He's throwing more balls than strikes so far. Up high, 3-1. And I think that's going to get the Royals bullpen busy. They are scrambling down there as the phone is ringing. This crowd on Memorial Day at Progressive Field, they want to see some action now. They're up on their feet as Jason Kipnis tries to deliver a big blow here early. And a full count. Fastball outside corner.
Well, and there's the patience I'm talking about. It was a strike. He didn't like that strike to swing at. So you don't have to go after his pitch. That's one you spit on and say, okay, let me see if you can do it again. A lot of times guys would have already predetermined in their mind, I'm going to swing at this. They think it's going to be down the middle. That was a good 3-1 pitch. But he lives for another one.
And the payoff pitch. Fouled right back. That was similar to the one he threw before. It might have been up a little bit more, but it was away.
It's okay. You foul it off. Stay alive. Here. It was too close to take, and he had to come back. That one might have been a little bit off, but it's all right. You fouled it off. Mendoza, a guy who's made 2 starts against the Indians this year, getting loose.
Bases loaded, 1 out here in the 3rd. And the payoff pitch is fouled away again. The inning started with a Lonnie Chisenhall solo homer to the right field into the Royals bullpen. And that started the problems for Nathan Adcock, who's made 23 pitches in this inning after making 23 in the first 2 innings combined. Taking a long time. Now he's got the pitch he wants. Down the line, but slicing out of play. So an 8-pitch at bat for Jason Kipnis as he continues to battle and foul off fastballs from Adcock. Luke Carlin, who singled, is at 3rd. Shin-Soo Choo, who singled, is at 2nd. And Michael Brantley, who walked, is at first base. Once again, the 3-2. Right back up the middle. It's through. Carlin scores. Choo coming around 3rd. He'll be waved home. Brantley on his way to 3rd. He'll stop there. Jason Kipnis delivers a 2-run single. And the Indians take a 3-2 lead. For Kipnis, RBIs number 29 and 30 on the year.
Beautiful at bat. He really worked it. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. With the bases loaded, anytime an Indian gets a hit, you have to love it because it scores 2, and they will take the lead 3-2 on the Jason Kipnis single up the middle. Sends runners now to the corner as Carlin and Chu come in to score. So the Indians are having a big inning. Good at bat.
Now Jose Lopez, the 7th man to bat in the inning. Grounded out his first time up. Baltimore chop off the plate. Moustakas, his only play might be at first. Oh, my. Running around the bag and being tagged out. No, they missed him. Are you kidding me? Holy smokes. Now Ned Yost is coming out. He's hopping mad. Second base umpire Dan Bellino said he missed Jason Kipnis, who came flying around second base like a bat out of hell. He went into a duck position, and somehow Moustakas missed him. I think what the Royals are arguing is that he was out of the baseline, maybe.
Well, he was dead to rights. Moustakas did the right thing. He decoyed Jason Kipnis.
Uh-oh, now the umpires are convening. You get to see if anybody else had a different look.
The run's going to score. Brantley comes in to score. He was not going to throw out Lopez. He faked like he was throwing to first. And then he had Kipnis because Kipnis was going to hustle all the way to third. But he decoyed him. He caught him in between. And I don't think it's going to go that way.
No,
they're still going to get ready to argue. It's going to go the Indians' way. Nobody saw it where he applied the tag. And they're saying he wasn't out of the baseline.
It's an RBI single for Jose Lopez. And just Jason Kipnis gets to third with a Houdini act.
Well, there's the run's going to score. Fake. And, there's Kipnis. He double pumps, fakes again.
Oh, he missed him.
Well,
at least from that angle, it looked like he missed him.
I couldn't tell, but the umpire had his arms out. Let's see if we see any error.
Oh, that looked like he got him on that angle.
He got him on that side, so the Indians catch a break. The other angle, no, that angle certainly did. He tagged him on the back.
Now Casey Kochman takes a strike. Yeah, that second angle, you could see his glove move.
So it's a 4-run inning now for the Indians, and they're still not finished.
And a base hit into left field. That brings home Kipnis. Lopez stops at second. It's a 5-2 Indians lead as they have batted around now here in the third. And that is going to be it for Nathan Adcock. Take another look as Casey Kochman just takes one the other way. Pitch was outside. He went right with it. Found the hole between third and short. And Nathan Adcock can't get out of the third inning here today against the Indians. The Tribe with 5 on the board, still only 1 out in the inning. And we'll be right back. here in the third inning. They didn't have a hit in the first two frames, but Lonnie Chisenhall started this inning with a home run, and they took off from there. And now Luis Mendoza into the ball game. And Rick, this is one of the few times it seems like this year where the first guy out of the bullpen hasn't been a left-hander.
It's been a rarity, that's for sure. But when you're coming in this early in the ball game, they just need some length, and the right-hander is their long man. Mendoza, who has made 5 starts this year, 2 of them against the Indians, 1 there, 1 here. This will be his 4th appearance coming out of the bullpen. But with first and second on, the Indians, 6 hits in the inning. And it's a 5-run inning here. That's the 7th time the Indians have had 5 or more runs in an inning.
Johnny Damon, the 9th man to bat in the inning, fly to left his first time up. Takes a fastball for a strike.
Nathan Adcock threw 51 pitches today and did not have 1 swing and a miss. So that tells you there was nothing special about him as far as, electric fastball or a breaking ball or a changeup. Everything was pretty similar. Seemed like 82 miles an hour with the changeup, topped it out at 90, and it looked like an 86-mile-an-hour cutter.
Well, it was that second time through that they really got to him.
Yeah, he didn't retire a hitter the second time.
He didn't even make it through the second time. 2-strike pitch to Damon. Pena set up in and then jumped outside. I don't know if a catcher does that if he suspects the hitter is peeking. It's just kind of
either
interesting.
that or maybe somebody's giving location from out at second base where they're sitting. He may feel like the base runner's telling him it's either inside or outside, not necessarily what pitch is coming, but maybe location.
Damon pops it in the air. Left field. Alex Gordon makes the catch, and that's out number 2.
Well, say with the KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack, a terrific value for any family. You'll get 4 seats in the mezzanine level right next to the kids' clubhouse. 4 hot dogs, 4 Pepsi products, 4 Indians caps, and a parking pass. Doesn't get much better than that. All for $96. Log on to Indians.com/kids for details and tickets.
Lonnie Chisenhall got the party started here in the third inning with a home run. Now he bats for the second time with 2 on and 2 out. Facing a different pitcher, of course. It takes a strike.
Boom. Quick hands through the ball, through the hitting area, boy. Ball shot out of here. That's a way to make a comeback, isn't it? Get back up here, get your first at bat, and hit one out for the fans. Beautiful.
Mendoza delivers, and Lonnie fouls it back. Yesterday, Kansas City's bullpen in a game in Baltimore logged 4 1/3 innings of 1-hit baseball. So it's a bullpen that got a lot of work yesterday, and they're going to be taxed again here today unless Mendoza can, log a lot of innings. We'll see how it plays out, obviously. Down low with the pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jose Lopez is at second base. Casey Kochman down at first. And the 1-2 to Chisenhall. A little tapper foul.
Want to send along a happy 35th wedding anniversary to Colleen and Gary Cornely. He's a retired lieutenant in the Cleveland Police Department, so happy 35th.
Mendoza ready with a 1-2. Little tapper back to the mound. He takes his time and throws him out. But the Indians bat around, score 5 times here in the third, and they're on top now, 5-2. It's a 5-2 Indians lead as we move to the 4th inning now. Josh Tomlin handed a 3-run advantage. He'll take on Billy Butler, Mike Moustakas, and Jeff Francoeur. And Butler, who struck out his first time up, takes a look at strike one. Mentioned earlier that Butler's on pace anyway to break the Royals' single-season home run mark. He's on pace to hit 39. He hit 2 against the Indians back on April 25th.
You know, you think about it, and Kansas City has had some great hitters. So they have 36 as their tops. Doesn't it seem strange? But that ballpark is a big ballpark. A little smaller now when they've adjusted the fences a little bit.
Hit off the end of the bat. Casey Kochman will flip to Tomlin. 1 down. Back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, some good news from Boston today for Indians fans. The Red Sox pounded Doug Fister and the Tigers, got him for 11 hits and 6 runs today. 7-4 was the final. Jared Saltalamacchia took him yard for the 9th time this year. Red Sox a winner, 7-4. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks a lot, Al. You know, the other thing that's interesting when you talk about Kansas City and that franchise single-season home run mark, as Mike Moustakas steps in, who flied to left his first time up. Steve Balboni set that record of 36 home runs in 1985. So that's pre-steroid era. They went through that whole era and still never had a bopper anybody come up with a big monster season.
Yeah, when you look at the 30 home run club in their book, there's not many.
I have to go back and look at it. I think Jermaine Dye had a pretty. No, was it Jermaine Dye? Somebody was in the 30s, but nobody got to 36, obviously.
Dean Palmer, I think, who came in over there.
Pitch down on the dirt. Gary Gaetti hit 35 in 1995. Dean Palmer hit 34 in 98.
I remember Palmer.
Danny Tartable hit 34. Jermaine Dye hit 33 in 2000. Two balls, 2 strikes on Moustakas.
It's still 2-1 Chicago. They're in the 8th inning now down in St. Pete. White Sox trying to edge the Tampa Bay Rays. Hammered foul. Indians with a shift on for Moustakas. They go 3 on the right side. And the payoff pitch. Walked him. Another close one, but it was close when he walked Francoeur, and then the next guy up hit a home run. So now he'll face Francoeur with 1 on 1 out. You can win a $100 gas card courtesy of your Northeast Ohio Shell retailer and True North convenience stores. Visit STOHD.com and enter your chance to win. One new winner will be picked each week now until September 26th. Jeff Francoeur walked and scored in the second. Double play ball to short. Diaz goes to second for one. Kipnis on the turn. They get the double play to end the inning. So the Tribe turns 2 behind Josh Tomlin. 5-2 Cleveland, middle of the 4th. Five-2 Indians on top, bottom of the 4th inning. Luke Carlin will lead it off for the Tribe. And a strike. Carlin singled and scored his first time up. And that's fouled out of play.
A couple of birthday wishes to go out this afternoon. Susan Zemitsky of Old Brooklyn is 67, and Paul Friery of Parma is 57. Happy birthday to you both. I'm sure they're celebrating on the Memorial Weekend, Memorial Day.
A little bit outside. Ball and 2 strikes. Right back up the middle, and Luke Carlin has swung the bat very well.
3 hits already.
And getting the call up. He went opposite field for a double in Chicago yesterday, and now a couple of singles right back up the middle here today.
Yeah, right there. Stayed on the baseball. He tries it right back where it was pitched. That's his second hit, second single. So 2 for 2 and already 3 hits since his recall.
Juan Diaz flied to left his first time up. As Dribble Cabrera is still in a day-to-day situation with that hamstring injury. I think there's hope that he could return in the next couple of days. Right back over the screen. Talked to Carlos Santana before the ball game today and said he was feeling much better today than he was yesterday after he had to leave the game in Chicago on Saturday with the concussion, placed on the 7-day disabled list. Now 1-1, fouled back. He said right now they don't want him to do anything really physically, just kind of relax, take it easy until everything sort of subsides after the concussion symptoms. And, it's one of those deals where you never know when it might pop back up again. So you kind of take it easy, take it slow. And
you have to really err on the side of caution, man, when you're talking about a concussion.
Because you could feel great for a couple of days, then,
right.
And then your first time you do some physical activity, it might come back. So,
yeah, and when you're talking about this heat, and you're talking about the position he's playing back there, where your bell gets run, it seems like every day.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You know what I mean? He can't hide from that.
No.
As much as he gets hit, we talked about how many times he gets hit back there behind the play, whether it's on the hand, the knee, the foot, or the face mask or the head. It's there every day.
There's Lou Marson talking to Sandy Alomar on the bench. A couple of guys have taken their share of knocks. That ball hit the mount in a perfect carom to the second baseman and an easy double play. You couldn't have run out there and handed the ball to Falou any easier than that ball hit the side of the mount and it was right to him.
Yeah, it did deflect off the first base side of the mound and goes right there. Made it a lot easier for him on a Sunday hop on Monday. 4-6-3.
Call it a holiday hop.
A holiday hop. There you go.
Sure, why not? 2 down for Shin-Soo Choo, who has walked, singled, and scored a run. Mendoza ready with the 1-0. A little bit low. Hey, all bets are off with Bruce Drennan. Will be live at Rally Alley this Friday starting at 5. Join the party with live performances, discounted food, happy hour beer specials, and lots of fun. Indians.com/Rally Alley for tickets. Buy early and save. Caught the corner, 2-1. Right back at him. Mendoza has it. Throws to first, and the Indians are retired. Through 4, it's the Indians 4 and the Royals 2.
Orthopedics with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. Indians with a 5-2 lead over the Royals here on Memorial Day, 5th inning. Eric Hosmer, who hit the 2-run homer off Tomlin in the second, leading off, takes up high, ball 1. Tomlin, just over 60 pitches on the day. That's his 40th strike thrown thus far. He's been in command, really, the whole way. He had to walk to Francoeur after really a heck of an at-bat. And then Hosmer hit the 2-run homer off him. That's been it. Hosmer retired here, 1 away. It's the only hit of the game for Kansas City, the Hosmer home run.
Well, check out the Indians season ticket guarantee package. It features maximum savings over single game prices on the best seats. Call 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com/season tickets for your package today.
That ball's hit well to deep center. Back is Brantley. On the dead run, looking up, it's gone. And Brian Pena with the Royals' second home run of the day, his first on the season, cuts the Indians' lead to 5-3.
Well, that had a different sound to it, so you know he hit it well. A lot of times you don't know when you go to straightaway center field, but pitch was upstairs, and it's carrying well, nice and warm today, but boy, that's one you want to drive. He did exactly what he should have done with that pitch, and that's hit it out of the ballpark. So it is a 5-3 ball game now.
Gerard Dyson grounded out his first time up. Bounces it by Kochman at first. Down the line it goes. He's on his way to second. Chu had all kind of trouble picking it up. And he's into third easily. Oh, no, the throw way off the mark and into the crowd. Oh, boy. They just handed him a run. Handed it to him. Jason Kipnis with the throw to third. I don't know what happened there, but he missed everybody.
Well, must have got away from him, but an ill-advised throw. He was already into third base. No sense to make it. You got to take a look behind you. And then that's knowing the speed of the runner. That was an easy triple. By the time he gets it, put it in your back pocket, run it in. He didn't even look. And he was just lined up wrong or whatever. But that gives him a run. That would have been a one-out triple anyway, but the error ends up scoring. So now it's a 5-4 game.
And now Alcides Escobar takes a strike.
All of Kansas City's hits, or I should say all three of them, have been extra base. The 2 home runs and that triple right there.
The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Third strikeout for Josh Tomlin. 2 down in the 5th.
Well, he's going to get Escobar right there. Looks like with a little cutter. 87 miles an hour. Excellent location down off the plate. Escobar comes up empty. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Now back to the top of the lineup.
Alex Gordon has flied out, struck out. Interesting a defensive alignment here for Gordon. It's not a true shift, but you've got the third baseman Lopez playing almost at straight up shortstop, while the shortstop Diaz shades him up the middle, but still on the shortstop side of second base. So obviously their charts say that he still can hit a ball to the opposite side, but normally it's up the middle.
Well, their charts have been pretty good this year, you know, when you consider all the times they pull that shift out on left-handed hitters, and they hit right into the strength of it.
75th pitch of the day for Tomlin. At the knees, a strike.
And that's the thing. The Indian staff, they're not a strikeout staff. They're a staff more that pitches to contact, a sinker slider staff, where when they execute their pitches like they should, you should have a defender standing there waiting for it.
Ooh, close pitch. And a full count. Just a tad low, perhaps. And the payoff pitch. Same pitch he chased after at that time.
A little change up. We're getting to that point, too, now the shadows creeping in, and it may be tough to see in that 4 o'clock start.
The 3-2. One hop smash into right field, and Alex Gordon with a 2-out single. Third hit of the inning for Kansas City. Tried with action in the bullpen.
Well, this one, too much of the plate there. He went down and he got it. Hit it hard, drove it in between the hole between first and second, so keeps it going. Third hit in the inning.
Pitching coach Scott Radinsky going to the mound to talk with Josh Tomlin. Nick Hagedorn, the left-hander, is up and getting loose. .49 out of the 77 pitches thrown by Tomlin today have been strikes. But the long balls hurt him today. A 2-run shot in the second, a solo blast here in the fifth.
Well, he's always a 65-70% strike thrower, you know, and sometimes he is going to give it up. The home run ball, a long ball, it was a solo home run. The triple, of course, was a ground ball that placed perfectly down the line, but the kid could run, and they threw one into the seats to score him. But this is the guy you want right here with 2 outs. You don't want to face Butler with guys on base.
Irving Falou steps in. He's 0 for 2. And a first pitch strike. Well, the Chicago Cubs ended their 12-game losing streak by beating San Diego at home today 11-7. They might be popping some champagne at Wrigley.
Hey, that's no fun to go through when you talk double-digit losing streaks, man. That's.
Red tells us there were 8 home runs hit in that game. What were there, 9 hit in Cincinnati last night?
Well, those are bandboxes. I mean, as hot as it is at this time of the year, it doesn't surprise me.
Oh, 1 pitch in there for a strike.
That's Cincinnati ballpark, man. You know, when you get into the summertime there, anybody can hit one out of right center field.
Two-strike pitch. Swung out and missed. He got him. Couple of strikeouts in the inning. But the Royals roar back with a pair. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth, 5-4 Cleveland. 5-4 Indians on top. Bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Michael Brantley, Jason Kipnis, and Jose Lopez. Brantley bounced into a fielder's choice in the first. He walked and scored in the third. Just his second walk in the month of May. That's kind of one of those stats, too. Like, you look at Josh Tomlin, for example. First guy he walked in the game today, and he hardly ever walks a batter. But the first guy who walks comes around and scores.
Yeah.
Michael Brantley walks for the second time in the month, and he comes around and scores. One. Then again, no other team has used the walk as well as the Indians offensively so far this year.
Well, they've been very good at it. They still lead the league. They have 197 walks as a team.
Mendoza fires, and Brantley with an emergency swing fights it off. Mendoza came on into the game with only 1 out in the 3rd inning. It's the 3rd time this year the Indians have knocked out an opposing starter after just 2 1/3 innings. And all 3 times it's happened here in the month of May.
Who was one of them? Was it the guy in Boston?
It happened 3 times, or twice in 3 days. They knocked out Philip Umber on May 7th.
Right.
In 2 1/3, and then Josh Beckett May 10th.
Right.
2 1/3
his
innings.
Return.
Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Jason Kipnis, his last time up, had a heck of an at-bat in a key situation in the ballgame. Fouled off a number of pitches, and then finally got one up the middle to drive in 2 runs to give the Indians the lead.
That's been one of the Indians' problems this year, is with runners with bases loaded. But that was a very good at-bat by Kipnis to deliver in that situation.
His first hit of the year with the bases loaded.
He ended up coming around to score also for the 5th run in that inning. And right now it's a difference in the ball game. But this is the time where the Indians are going to have to add on here. They have that big 5-run 3rd inning. They're, at some point in time, you got to answer. You're into the bullpen early.
Bunted by Kipnis. Mendoza threw it into the runner somehow. Hosmer.
How did he catch that?
He had the catch, but apparently was not on the bag, and he's called safe.
Well, it's going to go as a base hit because the throw was up the line, and Hosmer he left his glove there. He didn't see the ball. He had to come off the base because he didn't want to run into Kipnis. And I don't know how he caught that ball, to be honest with you. That's unbelievable. You watch Kipnis is going to be right in his way. He's going to run over there, and here comes a throw, and he's got to get out of the way. And look at him. He's just trying to get out of the way, not get hit, but he held on to the ball.
You're right. The throw actually goes right in front of Kipnis, I believe.
It sure does. Look at him. He's hiding.
Yeah,
he's not even looking at the ball go in the glove.
It went in his glove.
Yeah, it went in. He was as surprised as we were.
Good call by Hunter Wendelstedt. He was off the bag. And so a hit for Kipnis, his second of the day. 1 on, 1 out for Jose Lopez, who hit one off the plate in the 3rd inning that drove in a run. And then a controversial miscall when Kipnis went too far around the bag at second. It appeared on the replay that Mike Moustakas tagged him out, but the umpire said he missed him. Kipnis wound up going to 3rd and would later score in the inning.
That's a big play.
That's the difference in the game right now, exactly. Ooh, close pitch. 1-2 the count. Lopez. Waiting the 1-2 pitch. Stays alive.
There's the old Baltimore chop high, and he decoyed throwing to first base. Kipnis, boom, he tagged him. He got up and ran out. Here's the tag. You see the glove hit him on the backside, but he called him safe. Look at the Dan Bellino. Yeah, he was upset, and you know what? He did the right thing, Moustakas. He had his say, and he turned away not to get ejected by the time. It would have been easy to say something crazy and get thrown out of the game, but wisely he turned around, and that's why he's still in the ball game. And then by that time, his manager's out. It's one thing to argue a call, an emotional call like that, but you never want to be ejected from a ball game. It hurts your team.
Pitch out, runners going. Pena's throw too high. And so it doesn't even matter that they pitched out. Kipnis with his 9th stolen base of the year. Looked like Pena, I don't know if he double clutched Rick or just take another look at how he gets rid of the ball here.
Let's see if it was a good throw. It's everything's fine. Yeah, I don't know if he had a good grip.
Just looked like he was long in getting rid of that ball. Took him a little.
Yeah, they guessed right, but it was a bad throw by Pena. Up in the air, but Kipnis gets a stolen base, so that's a good thing.
Lopez rips it deep left field. Gordon back, off the wall. Coming around third, Kipnis will score. Lopez digging for 2, and he is out at second base.
Boy, what a nice throw by Gordon. He sat and loaded and cocked that gun and let it fly. And, I mean, it was a perfect throw. Lopez hit a bullet down the line. He might have thought it was going out. It hit high off the wall, but the stolen base will pay off for the Indians as Kipnis comes in to score the 6th run. But he is, look at him. He was watching it thinking he hit it out. He has gone down. Watch him. Cock loaded, fires a seed. One hopper right on the money. Look at that throw. Huh? Whew. He did have him, too. But the Indians get that run home.
6-4 in favor of the Tribe. Lopez with his 2nd RBI of the game. Lopez, who had a 10-game hitting streak and then went just 1 for 13 in the 3 games in Chicago. But right back here today with a 2 for 3 performance with a couple of RBI hits. Kochman, an opposite field base hit to drive in a run in the 3rd inning. 40th pitch of the game coming up right here for Mendoza. So he's definitely given Ned Yost some relief here, at least in terms of sucking up a few innings.
Well, he'd like him to suck up a few more if possible.
Probably right.
But the Indians were able to respond to that 2-run top half of the 5th with getting a run there, the stolen base, the double, or excuse me, the single.
Yeah, the bunt hit by Kipnis. Bunt.
Manufactured
steal.
a run.
That goes back to what we talked earlier about Kipnis, his all-around game. He's played good defense. He's swung the bat well. He's a good base runner, and he's a good base stealer.
Well, that's what he bunted with 1 out, and I don't care if he's hitting in the 3rd hole. He immediately stole second base.
The inning comes to an end, but the Indians tack on a run, lead it 6-4.
Fan Zone with today's lucky $25 Indians Fun Money winner. Bryson, how are the seats up here?
Awesome.
They are pretty awesome. You can see everything. If you want to be a winner too, all you have to do is get seats out here in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. Subway, where winners eat. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
We can
Looks
see
like
you up
they're-
there, Katie, with
Yeah.
your pink dress.
It's like they're having fun today in the Extreme Fan Zone, and the Indians are winning 6-4 as we go to the 6th inning of play. Josh Tomlin out after 5 innings of work, and he'd only made 81 pitches. But Manny Acta deciding now it's the time to go to the bullpen.
All right, Joe Smith on for the 23rd time, a 4-1 record, 3.98 ERA. We're going to try and settle down this bullpen now with a 2-run lead going into the 6th. You know the amazing thing about Tomlin? On the year, hitters slot 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. They hit 357 off Josh for whatever reason. I don't know. They were 3 for 6 today, but the rest of the lineup just 1 for 12.
The guys that normally get him got him.
Yeah.
Weird.
It is weird.
Well, and I think the reason he's out after 81 pitches is because he didn't have a rehab assignment. They didn't
Right.
feel he needed one, but
He's
at the
fine.
At the same time,
You know what I liked? He came back in. He threw strikes, his typical self. He changed speeds very well. He looked like he was fine. Couple of we call them mistakes because they left the ballpark. The one to Pena was up. The one to Hosmer was down. Hosmer looked like a pretty good pitch. But it's good to see him back throwing well. Period. That's number one. Start number one. He has a chance for a win.
Billy Butler 0 for 2. Little tapper right back to Joe Smith. 1 away. Recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. That home run Rick talked about, Eric Hosmer's 2-run shot. He golfed it out of here in the second to make it 2-0 Kansas City. Indians come right back. Jason Kipnis, the 2-run single, put him up 3-2. Kochman capped the inning. A 5-run inning for the Indians to make it 5-2. Find out about 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Line drive base hit for Moustakas. That really crossed him up with that shift on. Damon has to backhand it, but he will hold him to a long single.
Yeah, this will put a crimp in your shift. And with Smitty pitching, it's a sinker down and away. He just stayed on it, hit it nicely. No one even close. He's got the whole side of that field for him to hit it into.
Jeff Francoeur walked in the second inning, hit into a double play that erased Moustakas back in the fourth with 1 out. And a strike called. Royals have scored 4 runs today. That's what they average on the road this year. Big reason why they're 14-10 on the road and only 5-17 at home is the pitching. At home, their ERA is over 5, and on the road, it's a very respectable 3.47.
Huh.
Very close.
Really good 2-strike pitch right there. That's a double play ball. Normally you'll get hitters to swing at that ball and put it in play. That was awfully close to take.
Down too low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. White Sox hung on to win today down in St. Petersburg. They beat Tampa Bay 2-1.
Nice pitching matchup down there, huh?
Chris Sale and Matt Moore. The 2-2. Swung out and missed. Joe Smith strikes him out, 2 down. Back to the Hyundai Studios once again. Al Pulaski will tell us what happened down in St. Pete today.
Well, Matt Moore made just one mistake, and this was it right here to Adam Dunn. A 2-run homer here in the 6th inning, and that was the difference. 2-1. Chicago defeats Tampa Bay. Chris Sale picks up the win. He's 6-2 on the year. Addison Reed the save, his 5th. Matt?
Wow, he hit that almost to the back of the
that big man he's hot.
dome.
Yeah.
All right, Joe Smith is out. And we've got a timeout for a pitching change going to the left-hander here with 1 on and 2 out in the 6th. We'll be right back. Six-4 Indians. Royals with 1 on, 2 out. Eric Hosmer coming to the plate. Nick Hagedorn coming on to pitch for the Indians.
Uncle Sam coming on. You didn't see him walking out to the bullpen before the game where he had the beard and the red, white, and blue in the hat, as the Mafia made him wear a little costume out before the game. Appearing for the 15th time this year. Coming on to face Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer 2-run homer. Back in the 2nd, grounded out his last time up. And Hagedorn with an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Right back to Hagedorn. Gets by, but that's okay because Diaz is there. Steps on the bag to end the inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-4 Cleveland. Cleveland. Indians with a 6-4 lead. They'll send Johnny Damon, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Luke Carlin to the plate against Luis Mendoza.
She lost, or she
Mendoza's worked 2 2/3 innings of relief. He's given up a run on 3 hits. Johnny Damon takes a strike. He's 0 for 2. Twice he's flied out to left. Over in the National League today, Miami beat Washington 5-3.
Miami's playing solid baseball. Very good.
Yeah,
month of May, they've turned it around.
They're within 2.5 games of the Nationals for first place in the NL East, tied with New York for second. In tight.
Did you see where Ozzie pulled his closer the other night? Heath Bell twice, back to back. Ended up getting 2 saves, and he was dumbfounded on the mound, but he said, I got to win the ball game. And both guys ended up rising to the occasion and getting the save.
Damon drives one pretty well. Deep center. Dyson backpedaling. He's there, and he'll make the catch. 1 away. As promised earlier, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Lonnie Chisenhall back in the big leagues. And big time. Blasting it out to right, getting the Indians on the board in the third. And that sparked a 5-run rally for the Indians.
That'll make you want a cold one right there.
And Lottie's got his second hit of the game. He's 2 for 3 now as he singles into right field.
Well, they were playing him way up the middle. Watch, there's no second baseman in sight. Falu was way up the middle. I mean, that was tough to figure out. He pulled the first ball down the line and into the bullpen, but he gets himself another base hit.
You know, one last thought on that National League East. Nationals lead it, 2.5 games. New York, Miami tied for second. Atlanta lost for the 8th straight time today. And so now Philadelphia, who won, is tied with Atlanta. Just 4 games. 4 games separates first from last in that division now.
All right, that's going to be a dogfight.
Chisenhall was off on the pitch, but Carlin fouled it away. And the count 1-1. Luke Carlin singled up the middle his first time up, and then he singled up the middle his last time up. He's 2 for 3 since getting called up. He came into the game yesterday for Lou Marson when Lou got hit by that pitch in Chicago. And a 2-1 count. Right back up the middle again. This one, though, is tailor-made for a double play. That'll end the 6th. 6-4 Cleveland.
You want to make sure you're here this weekend. We have an action-packed Friday and Saturday night for you. Rally Alley, both days presented by RTA 2 hours before the game. You can head outside, get a beer, get some great food, live entertainment, fireworks after both of those games as well. And then Sunday, we have the second bobblehead giveaway of the season. The first 15,000 fans can take home a Carlos Baerga bobblehead presented by Medical Mutual. Get your tickets now. Log on to Indians.com.
Look at Carlos. His bobblehead looks like Dash Riprock. He's ready to roll, man.
Dash Riprock. 6-4 Indians on top. We're going to the 7th inning. Bottom third of the Royals offense due up here as Aaron Cunningham comes on for defense, replacing Johnny Damon in left. Nick Hagedorn will stay on to work to Brian Pena, the switch hitter. Then Gerard Dyson, left-handed hitter. And Alcides Escobar, third man due up, right-handed bat. Worked out pretty well for Manny Acta in that Hagedorn only needed 2 pitches to retire Hosmer to get out of the 6th. If you missed it earlier, Boston beat the Tigers 7-4 at Fenway, but the White Sox edged Tampa 2-1. Indians will need to hang on and win to stay a half game in front of Chicago. It's one of those old baseball axioms that the pennant races don't really start until after Memorial Day. Well, we're almost there, and you'll start to check the standings with a little more urgency as we go along.
Well, when you're playing, and like we have and will through these 15 games in our own division, that's where you really you watch and you pay attention when you're in your own division, because you're battling the guys you have to beat. You know, pretty soon we go out on this road trip after Minnesota comes to town. We stop at Detroit, and after that it's interleague play
for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, for a while, and then that's going to wrap up. So it gets a little confused there.
Bounce to short, but the third baseman Lopez cuts in front, throws him out, 1 away.
Four pitchers. Do you know them?
I guess Bob Feller's one of them.
Then 10 strikeouts. Feller's got to be one.
CC Sabathia, maybe?
Sudden Sam, no. Herb Score, Louis Tia. There you go.
I guess he foul tipped it. I didn't hear the foul tip. I just heard it.
He did?
Ricochet off the glove of Carlin, but it must have fouled right back. Yeah,
he
just
touch
did.
It.
He must have, because he never took off. Or, I mean, did he just plain miss it?
Well,
yes, he did.
I think it's a 1-1 count. He didn't like the pitch, so he brought the bat back. He didn't bunt at it. I didn't think. They got 0-2 on the scoreboard. No, so it's that if he's going to bunt that one, it had to be a 2-1 count.
Now it's 2-1, right?
It's got to be. But hey, Bob, help us out back there, will you? Show us a couple of fingers.
Bob's too sweaty.
Yeah, it's a hot day back there for the umpires, the catchers, no doubt about it. The humidity here very, very high. There you go. It's now 2-2. We've got the clickers in our hands.
It is 2-2. Now he's just signaled it to
Thank you, Bob.
Folks. That first one was hard to tell, though.
He didn't, because it was up and in. He brought the bat back.
Back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 1 out here in the 7th inning. And the Indians leading it 6-4. There is Alcides Escobar waiting on deck. Once again, Hagedorn trying to put away the pesky Dyson. Curveball hangs up high and a full count. And the payoff pitch, he steps away first. Twins beat Oakland. They stopped a 5-game losing streak today. Minnesota now 16-32 on the year. It's too low. So after all that, it's a walk for Dyson. That series between Minnesota and Oakland featured two teams that had both lost 5 in a row. So with the Twins winning, they get the streak snapped. Oakland has now dropped 6 straight. Dyson takes off. Throw down by Carlin, a good one, but not in time. Dyson has tremendous speed. His 7th stolen base.
That's why normally you'll see him up in that leadoff spot. When he starts getting on base, I'm sure Ned Yost will put him back up there because he brings the running game to this lineup. And he's very fast. He gets good jumps, and you can see he stole that base easily.
No balls and a strike to count here on Escobar, who is 0 for 2 on the day.
With Bart playing the scoreboard today.
Breaking ball misses down low. Vinny Pastano just now getting up in the Tribe bullpen. Hit to right field, a base knock. That's going to bring home Dyson. It's a 1-run game now, and the tying run is at first.
Well, this guy's got that patented inside-out swing, and he hits the ball the other way very well. Hagedorn goes out there with a fastball. He keeps the hands back and watch him serve it out there. Ball down right there, perfect for him to go that way with, and he does it and drives in a run. That's his 13th RBI. Now Kansas City within 1. It's a 6-5 ball game.
And a runner at first with 1 out. Left-handed hitting Alex Gordon coming up. Gordon is 1 for 3 on the day. Vinny Pastano getting loose in the Tribe bullpen. You got the switch hitter Falou next, and then the right-handed hitting Butler. Indians have out-hit the Royals 10-6, but Kansas City within a run now. Hagedorn ready. He throws to first, but back is Escobar, who has 7 stolen bases himself. Swung on and missed. Good fastball. For Kansas City, this is about par for the course. Coming into today's game, exactly half of their games have been decided by 2 runs or less. In those 23 games, Kansas City is 4-6 in 2-run games and 5-8 in 1-run games. So they have had their share of closely contested games down the stretch. Right to third baseman Jose Lopez. Who does he go to? He goes to Diaz, who turns 2. He had 2 guys converging at second base, and with that shift on, he wasn't exactly sure. He waited to see who got to the bag first, and the Indians are able to turn a double play and get out of the inning and maintain a 6-5 lead. The 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Call 216-444-CARE for an appointment today. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Nice crowd on hand here today. Indians and Royals on this Memorial Day, game 1 of a 3-game series. Hope to see you down here at the ballpark tomorrow night, a 7:05 start. And then on Wednesday, a 12 o'clock high noon affair with no television. Thursday, the Indians will host their charity golf outing, and then Friday through Sunday, the Minnesota Twins will be in town to wrap up the homestand.
Well, Mendoza's done a nice job for Ned Yost, hasn't he, coming out of that bullpen
3
and
2/3,
giving him some innings right now to this point. You know, he did the career long, went 5 2/3 innings. Got a win in relief May 13th against the Chicago White Sox.
Well, he and Adcock, it's interesting. I mean, Adcock had given him a 5-inning stint coming out of the bullpen, which led to him getting an opportunity in the rotation.
You better not pitch 5 coming out of the pen. You may be in the rotation and get overexposed.
He got bombed out of there in the third inning today, and Mendoza coming in to pick him up.
The Indians roughed this guy up in Kansas City.
Back out of play. You wonder sometimes, Rick, and I don't know if it's psychological or if it's just coincidence, but sometimes you see guys come out of the bullpen and pitch good in long relief stints, whereas when they start, maybe they get too amped up, they think too much about it, and they go out there and they don't pitch as well as the starter.
Well, and he's coming in a 5-2 ball game. You know, so just give me some outs, and guys may be a little more aggressive. And maybe you're right. He's relaxed a little bit more as compared to feeling some pressure of having to give you 6 innings, knowing that right from the start. I don't know. And sometimes, you know what, pitchers just aren't good enough to start. They don't have the stuff to start. It just doesn't translate.
Yep.
Because in this major league, in the American League, if you don't have good stuff, you're not going to fool them. Well, they're going to eventually get you.
And from what we saw from Adcock today, and unless it was just one of those days for him, he looked like he was a 2-pitch pitcher.
He was short.
Very tough to get by as a starter with only 2 pitches.
We might have caught him on a bad day for him, but he was short. There's no doubt.
Out of play. Jose Majaras up in the Royals bullpen, the left-hander.
Well, maybe up for the lefties. Chew, Brantley, Kipnis due up after Diaz.
Mendoza has made 57 pitches in his 3 2/3 innings of relief. Diaz with a bouncer in the hole, and a nice stop by Falou. Gets up, throws, not in time. Diaz beats it out for a base hit. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 7th.
A good hustle by Diaz and a very nice effort by Falou, who gets over there and smothers that ball. His foot gives way. He tried to get to his knees and get something on it. And he just falls down and just couldn't get enough on it. Besides, Hosmer couldn't catch the ball anyway. Good effort. That's a single. And that's the afternoon for Mendoza.
You know what's interesting, too, is we're in the 7th inning without a strikeout from Royals pitchers so far in this game. But Mendoza's out. Left-hander Jose Majaras coming on when we come back. Tribe has a runner on to start the bottom of the 7th inning, and Shin-Soo Choo coming to the plate 1 for 2 today with a single and a run scored. Majaras for the 25th time this year, 2 wins, a loss, ERA .225. How about that? 15 strikeouts, just 4 walks in his 20 innings of work. Oh, and he hit Diaz in the middle of the back. The ball goes in the photo bay, and Diaz will get third base.
Well, one base you're going to, and then 1-1 base you're going to. He was actually going back to first base.
That thing hit him right in the right between the 2 and the 9.
Boy, how does that work out? So that's an error on the pitcher, and man, he stepped off, and it looked awkward when he threw it over. Watch, he throws it. Well, he throws it off the wrong foot, and he gets planted right in the middle of the back, and it goes into the seats.
You talk about a costly two-base error. Chu checks, it's up high. He didn't go. 2-0. And because the ball hit the runner, this is why you get the two bases in that situation.
Well, that forces Yost to bring in the infield with nobody out. Normally they'll play back, but you're getting late in the ball game now, bottom half of the seventh. He's going to try and take everything away from them.
Oh, foul tipped it. And it's 2-2.
Well, he just went upstairs. He had challenged him.
Two-two pitch, swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Boy, that's big for Jose Mijares. Chu helped him out early in the count.
I'll tell you, 94 miles an hour, it puts it down and away. Threw one up. Chu had a chance to hit. He swung through at the pitch before that, so he went right at him. He didn't mess around, got the strikeout.
Michael Brantley 0 for 2, walked and scored back in the third. Brantley breaks his bat, dumps it into center field for a base hit. Coming home is Diaz, and the Indians extend their lead to 7-5. Michael's first hit of the ball game, but the error really costly now for Mijares and the Royals.
Yeah, extends that lead now to 7-5. Broke his bat. It certainly sounded like it anyway off the end, but good job. He got the ball in play, got the run in from third. So now a 2-run cushion.
Jason Kipnis, who's had a good day, going 2 for 3. He drove in 2 runs with a base hit in the third, a bunt single. He stole a base and came home with a big run in that 5th inning. At the knees on the outside corner. Another good pitch. He's had a couple of them in this inning where he has been able to really locate. Brantley again gets back safely. Oh, 2. Kipnis, line drive single to center. Brantley around second. He'll hold right there. And back-to-back singles in the 7th inning off Jose Mijares. And the Indians with 3 hits in the inning are run in and threatening now for more.
Well, there's that pitch. It looked like a good fastball away. Kipnis stayed on it. Goes right back up the middle with it. That's hit number 13. That coming off an 0-2 pitch. Not where you wanted to make that one, and Kipnis made him pay. Got ahead in the count. Couldn't put him away.
Now Jose Lopez, who's had 2 hits today, and he's driven in a run with each of them. A chopper off the plate that got a run home in the 3rd, and a double off the wall in left that scored a run in the 5th. Downstairs, ball 1. Here today, the Indians have done a good job with runners in scoring position, going 5 for 8. Lopez rips it foul. Take another look here.
Well, let it fly. That boy. They come in there, get him out. He turned on it, hit it hard, but it was foul.
A little bit low. Now the 2-1 pitch. Runners go. And it's inside, or at least one of them went. Brantley took off Kipnis. It looked like he started to go, but maybe just didn't get a good feel for what Brantley was doing, so he's got to be sure before he can take off. Well, Brantley gets his 8th stolen base of the year.
Well, he took off and started running. He just hesitated. Yeah, but you're right. He does have to be sure.
Lopez with a grounder to second. It goes through the legs of Falou. A run scores and everybody's safe. Oh, that was a double play ball to end the inning. And Falou booted it. "8-5 Indians."
Yeah, this is tailor-made. Double play. He never catches, holds on to it. The ball gets by him, so he doesn't get anybody. It is now 8-5.
Casey Kotzman takes a strike outside corner. That's the 3rd error of the game for Kansas City, 2nd of the inning. And a big one. Well, both of them were big. The catcher, Pena, calling for it. He's got it. Every time the Indians homer this year, Rick and I will make a donation to the Gathering Place of $5 each, and Great Clips will donate $50. Our season total, $2,460. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. We got a timeout for a pitching change as Ned Yost will go back to his bullpen with 2 on and 2 out here in the 7th, and the Indians on top 8-5. And right-hander Greg Holland coming into the ball game. Because you got Aaron Cunningham coming up, the right-handed hitter, I suppose. We go to the matchup game. The inning started with Juan Diaz singling on the right side of the infield. Great diving stop by Falou, but he couldn't throw him out. And then Falou later would commit a costly error that would have been a double play to end the inning. That error followed by a disastrous pickoff attempt by Jose Mijares, which went into the stands, resulting in a two-base error that kind of set the whole thing in motion. 3 errors in the game for the Royals is a season high. The other error, though, would be one that the Royals would most certainly dispute. Mike Moustakas was charged with an error on what proved to be a bad call by the umpires in the 3rd inning.
It was. He tagged him. He was out. Our camera showed it.
Fouled off the mask of Pena, but because the umpire said he missed the tag, they felt Kipnis was awarded third base because of the error by Moustakas. So that's their 3rd error as they tally them all up, a season high for Kansas City. But the 2 errors in this inning really are costly. I think the Royals thought it was strike 3. It looked like Holland was headed to the dugout, but the call not made by Bob Davidson. And it has seemed a number of times today on 2-strike calls, the hitter will get the benefit of the doubt. Well, that pitch definitely looked low. Seemed like, though, a number of times today, if it's 2 strikes, if it's close, the hitter gets the benefit. 1-2. Another one, just a little low. Indians up 8-5 here in this series opener against Kansas City. And a base hit into right field. Coming around third, Jason Kipnis going to be stopped. Good throw, and I mean a great throw by Francoeur. That's a guy like Chu that you just don't challenge.
You have to realize who's out there. This guy has more assists in the last 5 or 6 years than anybody in baseball.
And he got to it quickly because the ball was hit hard. And he uncorked a on-the-line throw to home plate.
Yeah, Kipnis would have been a dead duck. Francoeur with a great throwing arm. Look at it right there. Come on. Come to Papa. That was a wise hold right there. And it's bases loaded, so you give the next guy an opportunity here.
And why not? Lonnie Chisenhall's been red hot in his first game back in the big leagues. 2 for 3, a homer, a single. Trying to put it out of reach now. And a strike over the outside corner. Back by the mound, the second baseman Falou fields it cleanly and throws him out to end the inning. Indians get 2 more. We go to the 8th, 8-5 Cleveland.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning here at Progressive Field. The Indians with an 8-5 lead over the Royals now. And they'll turn it over to Vinny Pistano. After Nick Hagedorn went an inning and a third, he did allow a run. But the Indians now, with a couple of insurance runs, have a 3-run cushion to work with as Vinny Pistano comes on for the 23rd time this season. He'll be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Royals lineup: Irving Falou, Billy Butler, and Mike Moustakas. Irving Falou today 0 for 3. He has popped up, grounded out, and struck out. He's done a nice job, though, filling in for Unieski Betancourt. 14 hits and 42 at-bats. That's good for a .333 average.
Really, most of the damage has been done by the bottom part of the Kansas City lineup.
Yeah.
Gordon has a hit in the leadoff spot. Moustakas has one. And then it's down to number 6 hitter Hosmer. Has the 2-run homer. And then Pena with the solo home run and a Dyson triple.
2-2. Alcides Escobar with an RBI hit out of the 9-hole. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Good off-speed pitch from Pistano. One away.
Good breaking ball. 80 miles per hour. The slider. Falou swings over it.
Now Butler shoots it right back. He's 0 for 3 today. You know, it's funny. Sometimes when you're in the middle of a series and you're looking at stats, they don't quite sink in. But I'm just sitting here looking at Billy Butler, and we know how good a hitter he is. He's hitting .298. And you think of Paul Konerko hitting 100 points higher.
Yeah.
100 points higher.
Yeah. That's.
I know it's only Memorial Day, but that's unbelievable.
But still, for a 2-month run,
pretty,
it's still impressive.
Pretty impressive. 2-1. And then,
I mean, that's like David Wright over in the National League.
Yeah, well, and then you add to that, and I know it's a different era and a different time. You had half as many teams, but then you add to that Ted Williams doing that for an entire season. Hitting .406 on the final day of the year.
That'll never happen again.
It's highly unlikely. 2-2 swung out and missed. Boy, Butler just waved at it weakly. Pistano has struck out the first 2 in the 8th. Got him the same way he got Falou with that slider.
Yeah, you rarely see Butler take a swing like this. Just waving at it. He was just totally fooled on that pitch. You better save that one because you won't see that swing very often from him.
Mike Moustakas 1 out of 2. He has singled and walked today. Fastball in at the knees, and that's a called strike. Pistano deals, and a slider down and in. Ooh. Not sure why that was not called a strike, but it's 3-1. Jeff Francoeur waiting on deck. Swung on and missed. And the string is out for Mike Moustakas with 2 down here in the 8th. This crowd of 25,377 on Memorial Day, looking for another strikeout. Time was called before the pitch. You know, almost it's without fail. If you call for timeout and you're awarded timeout and it's close where the pitcher's already, you automatically as a hitter step out and check your eye. As if to say, the reason I call time is because there's something. You don't want that pitcher to get mad at you.
Yeah, that's true.
Here we go, the set and the payoff pitch. Wow, he lost control of that one. And a 2-out walk. Keeps the inning alive for Jeff Francoeur. You can see Pistano on this very warm and humid day wants a little extra rosin. Francoeur walked and scored in the 2nd. He hit into a double play in the 4th, struck out his last time up. Line drive, base hit right field. Moustakas on his way to 3rd, and he stops, puts on the brakes, and immediately holds there, and probably a good thing because Chu unleashed a perfect throw to the cutoff man. So now the tying run coming to the plate, and it's Eric Hosmer, who hit a 2-run homer his first time up in this game.
Yeah, that ball stayed up. It looked like a little breaking ball. Francoeur slaps it the other way. Royals now with 7 hits.
There comes Scott Radinsky out to the mound. Royals doing this with 2 outs and nobody on base. Single and a walk. They haven't had their leadoff man aboard yet today. Their leadoff hitters have gone 0 for 8. So Pistano will have to face Hosmer with 2 on and 2 out. In the air left field. Charging hard, Cunningham makes the catch to end the inning. So Pistano gets out of trouble. The Royals strand a pair. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's 8-5 Cleveland. 8-5 Indians, bottom of the 8th inning. Greg Holland, who got the final out of the 7th, will stay on and work the 8th. He'll be facing Luke Carlin, Juan Diaz, and Shin-Soo Choo. Tribe fell behind early 2-0, but they roared back with a 5-run third inning, knocking the starter Nathan Adcock out of the game. And they have not trailed. Royals came back to cut it to 5-4. And then the Indians added a run in the 5th to make it 6-4. And the Royals added a run back to make it 6-5 in the 7th. And then the bottom of the 7th, the Indians got 2 more. Luke Carlin lines one deep down the left side, slicing over near the line. Gordon has to give up on it. And it went into the seats, and a nice play. He brought the glove for a reason. He puts it to good use. Hey, that Cleveland Browns football camp, you can log on to Browns.com to get all the information. June 18th through the 20th at the stadium. All the basics for kids age 7 to 12 years old. Everything from passing and kicking to blocking and defense. Luke Carlin strikes out. 1 away. Box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today.
Well, 14 knocks for the Tribe.
Yeah, everybody in on the action, too.
6 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Only 5 left on base.
And a strike to Juan Diaz, 1 for 3. Scored a run his last time up when he singled. Down in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Indians Royals will go at it again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here at Progressive Field. We'll have it for you once again on STO. Justin Masterson against Will Smith. Indians will try to improve their record against left-handed starting pitching. They're 4-9 against lefty starters, and they'll face 2 in the next 2 days, Will Smith and Bruce Chen. Full count.
Helped him out there. 3-1, figuring he's going to throw him a fastball. That's ball 4. A little too aggressive.
Chops it foul. Chris Perez up in the Tribe bullpen. The payoff pitch. Threw it by him. 96-mile-an-hour fastball to strike out Diaz. Back-to-back Ks to start the bottom of the 8th inning. And that's going to bring up Shin-Soo Choo, who is 1 for 3 today with a single and a run scored back in the 3rd inning. Chu waves at it. Good off-speed pitch that time from Holland, who's able to run that fastball in there anywhere from 96 to 98 miles an hour. Now Holland taking a long look in. And the 1-1 up and away. White Sox won earlier today. Tigers lost. Indians trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. Royals came in having won their last 2 against Baltimore. Just missed inside with it, 3-1. Twins beat the A's 5-4. Minnesota stopped a 5-game losing streak. Oakland has now lost 6 in a row. 3-1. Full count. One of the storylines today for the Indians was Lonnie Chisenhall getting the call up. He got the start. Homered in his first at bat. Payoff pitch. Chu drives one to center. In comes Dyson. Makes the catch. Indians go 1-2-3. And we will go to the 9th. 8-5 Cleveland. Top, Chris Perez will try to close it out for the Indians. Perez 16 out of 17 in save situations. And he'll be facing the 7, 8, and 9 spots in the Royals order. It will be Brian Pena, Gerard Dyson, and Alcides Escobar. Chris Perez started the day tied for the league lead in saves. The pitch to Pena in there for a strike. Chops it foul, 0-2. Bryant Pena with a home run back in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 on the day. He got a high fastball from Josh Tomlin, and he drilled it to straightaway center. His first home run of the year. Bounce to second. Kipnis waits back on it, unloads, and gets him one away. Stick around after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show. We'll break today's game down, look at the highlights, talk with one of the heroes from today's clash. And we'll look forward to Game 2 of this series, which comes your way tomorrow night right here on STO. A strike to Dyson, who is 1 out of 2 on the afternoon. He tripled down into the right field corner and then came around to score on an errant throw. He walked, stole a base, and scored in the 7th. And it's 0-2. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Check. Strike 3 called. Two down in the 9th.
Well, Chris comes right in there with a good slider. Inside corner, locks him up, couldn't swing at it, takes it at the knees on the inside corner. Out number 2.
Taking all the way, Alcides Escobar looks at a strike. Strike called inside corner, a slider that locked him up. Two down, 0-2 pitch. Grounded to first. Kochman with a backhand. The flip. And Chris Perez has his league-leading 17th save. The Indians stop their 3-game losing streak with an 8-5 win over the Kansas City Royals here on Memorial Day. With the win, the Indians are now 27-21. They stay a half game in front of second-place Chicago in the American League Central Division standings. The loss drops Kansas City to 19-28 on the year. Time now to get a look at our play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, Jason Kipnis put up a quality at-bat there with the bases loaded, and they ended up taking the lead on that swing. Had the count in his favor, 3-1, took a 3-1 pitch, fouled off a couple more until he hits that ball right up the middle. Did a terrific job in that at-bat, gave him the lead. The Indians never looked back from that point on.
So a good win for the Indians here today. The winning pitcher, Josh Tomlin, he's now 2-2 on the year. Chris Perez is 17th save. The loser is Nathan Adcock. He drops to 0-3 on the